Tri Waco, the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce's annual Olympic and Sprint Distance Triathlon will begin at 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 9th at Indian Spring Park. Over 900 participants are expected for this event. The race starts with a point-to-point open water swim in the Brazos River, followed by a flat and fast bike ride on the spectator-friendly roads near the river, and finishes with a run along the Brazos River through Cameron Park, finishing on the famous suspension bridge. Tri Waco will again include relay options as well as the aqua bike races. Online registration is open through Friday, July 7th, 2023 at triwaco.org. The Tri Waco Triathlon is presented by Bicycle World. Again, online registration is open through Friday, July 7th, 2023 at triwaco.org.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. So the first question I always ask is, what brought you to Waco, or are you Waco native? So that's going to be very interesting for you to answer. So
Yes.
I'm excited.
So what's funny about this question is I am not, what brought me to Waco is Magnolia, us doing vendor events there. Prior to that, it was a pass-through town for us to get to Austin. And then in 2019, we started doing Celebration, Spring at the Silos. There was a couple years we did 4 events there because they had mini markets in the summer and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what got me connected into the community of Waco. And then I'm not a Waco native. I'm native to the Wichita Falls area, which is far north Texas. It's not Kansas. That is how I explain it to people. And then now I just commute back and forth. So really those connections. And then I joined a cohort of women business owners from Waco in 2021. And we did that cohort, which is a mastermind type experience with other Wacoans for 2 years. And then we kind of dissolved that cohort once I opened the store. There's only so many hours in a day. So I had to limit some of the things. But yeah, I was able to connect to a whole different network of people in Waco. And I just love the people in the community there.
Yay, I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Say who you are and who you're with.
Awesome. My name is Kathryn Hager. I'm the owner, founder, creative director, brand strategist, wear every hat possible of Rambling Company. So we are a small batch hand-printed kind of gift store. We not only sell I screen print everything. I'm the primary screen printer. I started in 2009 to pay for my last year of college. I got a marketing degree from the university here in Wichita Falls, Midwestern State.
Shout out.
And shout out. Grew up on a farm in the area. And so entrepreneurship runs quite deeply in my soul and in my veins. And so, yeah, I've been screen printing since and went full time into Rambling Company in 2015. So I've had a retail store since then. And just last year opened my second location in Waco.
Yay. I was about to say, how long have you been here in Waco? So you guys are celebrating a year?
No, not until October.
Oh, not until October.
Yeah, it was a long renovation process. So the building that we are in off 11th Street, it's 11th and Franklin, was completely raw.
Wow.
So the good part of that was I was able to design the space aesthetically like I had envisioned. The hard part is it took us a long time to get electricity.
Completely
So we
understand
didn't
that.
get power until July.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
So, July, you can kind of count as your 1 year for electricity.
Yeah, 1 year for electricity for sure.
Well, we're absolutely excited and love having you here in the Waco community. You're right in between Milk Bottle Cookies and Hammer and Stain. We love those folks over there, and I've had them both come on the show. So it only seemed right having you come on too.
Yes, we are a good girl squad of people. I love my neighbors in Waco. They are true gems for sure.
I love that. So you, of course, started your first location in Wichita Falls, and then you came here to Waco. So what has it been like being a business owner here in Waco? What has the community provided?
Oh, so much support and enthusiasm. What's really fun is we have a lot of followers from our social media, Instagram primarily, who have followed our journey for years. Some of them know me like 6-7 years, and then fly into Dallas, Austin, and are able to come to Waco. And so we get the excitement from out of towners, but I've gotten so much positive support from local Wacoans, and it's really refreshing, to be honest. It's a lot different than Wichita Falls. So yeah, I leave Waco beaming with joy every time I visit. Usually work a ton. I do a lot of day trips so that I don't have to stay the night. But it's wonderful. The community is amazing.
I love that. And you actually host a bunch of community events. You do things all the time. So tell me about some of that programming, some of the events you have coming up.
Yeah, so our store is one long unit, building, for lack of a better word, and it's our retail space, and we also have an event space called The Den. Our Instagram handle's Party at the Den, and we host a lot of showers. You can rent it yourself, but I love community. I love women. I love empowering people, lifting people up. And so we host our own event called Together Workshop. We have 3 this year. We just had one in April. We'll have one in June, and we have one in August. And so 2 of the 3 speakers, we bring in speakers. 2 of them are from Waco. And then 1 we're bringing in from Missouri. But we limit it to about 15 to 20 people, women. And it's a 2-hour experience where we talk about courage and doing hard things and joy. And it's just a chance to come together and fellowship and community.
I love that. And you also hold vendor markets.
We do. So we have a vendor market. We had one in March, a spring market. We're going to have a summer one. So the date, I believe, is July 22nd. But I just found out that the city of Waco is going to be redoing their sidewalks in July. So that is going to put a big damper. We may have to change the date of that vendor market. But I love, I started as a vendor in another business years ago, probably 2011, 2012. And so I like to have people in who don't have their own storefront, who can sell their artisan items, makers. And so, yes, we'll do those 2 to 3 times a year as well.
Yeah, I love that. And this summer you have that program coming up. And then later you're going to be also doing another women's event.
We are. And so, yeah, I think that June and August are the only women events we're doing right now. But then we get to, so recently we did a Waco Moms event. It was my first Waco Moms event. I'm sure y'all's audience is familiar with them. Mm-hmm. It was so well run and organized. And we met, I would say 75% of the people I saw had not heard of our store. So it was a huge networking event, but everyone was so kind. It was so fun.
I absolutely love that. Well, with that, we're going to take a commercial break real fast and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Loud.
I'm back,
Okay.
baby. Woo!
Hi, I'm Trey Cooper,
I'm Solomon Cooper.
and we're the hosts of the Kid Stays in the podcast.
It's a cross-generational discussion about movies. 2 perspectives. I'm the young one, he's the old one, and we have some fun arguments.
I don't think we need to say it that way.
You're old.
Anyway, whenever you tune in to listen to the Kid Stays in the podcast, you can expect to hear a very, very intelligent discussion of a film from me and a really imbecilic perspective from Solomon, who hates anything that wasn't made after 2007.
You're very rude to me.
We tried to watch a movie from 1985 once, and he really hated it. Tune into our show. Hear me roast Solomon week after week.
Find us anywhere you get your podcast or on roguemedianetwork.com.
911, what's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. 2 haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul. Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism.
The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
the Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
What are we doing here, Rusty? What are we going to do?
Yep, we're doing the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. Yeah, so we're going to go through one episode at a time. Come along for the ride with us.
Come check it out.
And give me a good like Dale Gribble quote to go out on. Wingo!
Yeah, Wingo.
Wingo! All right, well, join us for the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
And now, back to the episode. So, with you coming from Wichita Falls, what is something you love about Waco?
I tell people it's the community. It's the Cameron Park, for sure. The amount of amenities in terms of like just, I don't know, there's just so many small businesses.
Yes.
And it's the small businesses and the things that you can do outside. I love to trail run and hike. So I don't have that here. It's very flat. Not a lot of places to go in Wichita Falls. There are a few, but there's just so much more in Waco. So I love the small businesses. I have like a rotation of about 5 coffee shops and breweries that I like to go to. And then I try to try one new place every time I go because there's just so much here. And it's fun because I've built connections at these places. Like I would live there, but I don't. You know, when you go to the same place all the time, it's very comforting. And Waco makes it easy to feel like I'm not away from home.
Oh, I love that. And what is something you would like to see more of in Waco?
That's a good question.
I do have some people just say I-35 fix, so that is an option also.
Yeah, so what came to my mind is like a bike share. There's a lot of scooter shares, and I think that I serve on a bike committee here in Wichita Falls. And so I think that it would be neat to have even e-bikes, like a bike share program that people could ride around downtown. Because I have seen all the bike lanes that Waco is working on. And it seems like they're really trying to improve that part of downtown.
Yeah, one of the big goals is making our community a little bit more walkable. I know the city is putting in new sidewalks and other things like that both put a damper on the party, but also make our community more safer. And it's just really great to get to see that, especially when Waco historically has not been a walkable or, pedestrian safe community. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah, I think that is the strip between Franklin, like 11th to 8th on Franklin is not very walkable. There's not a lot of sidewalks. So for those businesses, Chaw Community is a good friend of mine. Absolutely love them.
Shout out Devin and Jaja.
Yes, shout out to Jaja. I think just having easier ways to walk over there would be neat.
I love that. And, we already kind of did it, but I love having a shout out section. Is there anybody you would like to shout out here in the Waco community that's helped welcome you, helped you along your journey? Of course, I also say you can shout out your mom, your dog, or your grandma, all of the above.
Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of pressure because I'll probably forget somebody, but there are Michelle Cost is a leadership coach in Waco, and she's amazing. She did our first Together workshop. Grace with Gracefully. She has her jewelry in our store. I'll shout out all my local vendors in the store. Chalk community for sure. Abby and Omari, who have Pops Lemonade. They have been great supporters of ours. Sendero. I'm wearing them now, but I love those guys, and I think it's an asset that they're in Waco for sure.
Wow, I love that. And then, of course, give us all your social media plugs where you can find more information, where we can find more about you.
Yeah, so we actually have 2 Facebook pages. One is at Ramble and Company, and one is Ramble and Company Waco, just so that the Waco community can stay more connected. There, our Instagram is the best place. I show up daily in stories. It is at Ramble and Company. And then we also have a website, shop.rambleandcompany.com. We have a blog, the Ramble Journal. We have a podcast also that we try really hard to stay on top of, but it's been difficult this year, and it is the Ramble On Show.
I love that. And I can come on your podcast now. So podcast for podcast.
Yes.
Well, I love that. One of the questions I love to kind of wrap up with is what is some advice you would like to give other local entrepreneurs or people wanting to start their own business or anything like that?
I would say keep at it. Keep going. Don't give up when it gets hard. Learn from your mistakes. Being able to pause and analyze things that didn't go your way versus taking it as a negative. I always see my mistakes as a positive, and be able to not lose the big picture, the why you're doing what you're doing, because that's what's going to keep you going when it gets hard.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing that today. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
No, just come see us, please. We have the best staff in Waco. I'm so proud of our team. We're at 11th and Franklin.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.